Hi everyone, welcome back to Tonic Live with myself Owen.
And me Alison.
Just before the break we had a bit of a freeze frame and I think you can still hear us, so you might not have seen the end of the last tutorial which we were doing the crystal carousel box. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to carry on from where we left off, and Alison was just sticking to the top. If you just joined us, your first Tonic Live as it were, what Tonic Live is, it's live tutorials, live techniques. I answer your questions, say hi to you guys on here. Anything you want to see or questions you've got, just put them in the chat column and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm trying to think of anything else. Any comments that you give on there, by the way, we draw a competition and we draw one of you at random. If you just say comment, if you said hi, if you say whatever you want to see, we'll draw that and you get a chance to win a surprise at the end, which I'll announce. Okay, so if you want to carry on where we left off, crystal carousel box, Alison, there you go.
Okay, lovely. Right, what we did, give a quick reprieve on what we've done. We cut two of the outer dies, which is this shape. We joined them together with the tabs. Then we cut some of the inner dies, which are on the top here and on the bottom. So I've stuck all the top dies on, as you can see around the top, and I was in the process of popping the bottom ones on. They're verso dies, which means you can either cut the pattern into your cardstock or you can cut it into a separate piece of cardstock. So a verso effect, that would be a verso cut into your cardstock, but it's got a shape on top of it as well. But these have all been cut into separate pieces of cardstock. So it's just a little bit of glue here. And this is our funky glue.
You're playing use pretty much everything on all the tutorials. Any tutorials you've missed, or you missed the first half of this, it should be, well, above or below. So it should be down. So if you just follow that, it should be down the page and you can just watch that. We'll put it in the playlist as well in the video section. So any tutorials you haven't seen before, we've done a bottle wrap, we've done loads of different things over the last 6 weeks. So just have a watch of them and you'll be able to catch up with this. But any questions you have while Alison's doing this or any other tutorial, just write in the column and I'll do my best to answer them, okay?
There we go, almost done.
Hi Elizabeth, I'll do some highs. Hi Marie, I know I saw Lynn. Hi Linda, hi Lynn. I saw Andrina as well earlier just before it popped up a little bit. Hi guys, thanks for joining us and coming back.
There we go. I'll do put the bottom together and the top so you get a chance to see. Okay, when I do the bottom, I just think of how you would close a normal box. So you go round in a clockwise fashion. So take your first flat, pop it down, but put your finger underneath it. Then put the second one down and the third and just work your way around. So each one goes over the next until you get to the last one. And it's exactly the same as when you close in a box. So it goes over the one and it slots in under the other. And then you give them a little squeeze and they all fit in together.
There you go. And that holds pretty tight, isn't it?
It will, once you close the top, that will hold together. Exactly like that. We do have a die that's a hexagon shape. Yeah, that you can cut a die to put over the bottom,
so
but you don't need to.
Just to strengthen the base, but you don't, not necessarily.
You really don't need to. So closing the top again. Okay. Take your number one, put your finger underneath it. Then pop the next one underneath, and we're always going round to the left. So we pop the next underneath, and the next, and the next, and the next, until we get to the last, and that goes underneath. Whoops, there we are. So they're all underneath. So there's your shape, and then you've got a little slit in your die that hooks the little tab into. And that's it. And there's your box made.
There you go. We've got like a nice leafy.
So we've put a little star on the top here. You can decorate it with your crystal drops. You could put a nice bow on the top, some flowers. Lots of different ideas of how to decorate them. And there's our boxes. That's our crystal.
Brilliant. Yeah, and that's the crystal carousel die set. So if you just joined us, that's the die that we were using. Oh, there we go. Actually, it should show on the screen now. That's 1020E. So if you wanted to make along with that, or if you haven't got it already, it's available throughout the trade. So if you Google that, you'll find that. So that's 1020E carousel box throughout the trade. You find it pretty much everywhere. So we'll move on to our next box, our final box, and that's the. I'll get it for you so you guys can see, and that's the multi-sided lantern box. Again, one of our older boxes. All of these available outside of Create and Craft through the trade, and the code on that is 625V. Okay, so what Alison's going to do is go through a tutorial with that for you. She's going to ask some questions. If you guys have any questions, just ask them along. And if you missed any of the tutorial earlier, just scroll down and you'll find the tutorial from before. But if you're ready, Al,
I'm
take
ready.
it away. Let's go.
I'm all ready.
I'll show you some. These are some examples as well, by the way, guys. There we go. I think you should be able to see those. So that you can see the difference in those two. Already.
Yeah.
Versatile is the word.
It is.
It's the word. It's versatile.
So that's a 4-sided and a 5-sided box.
Yeah.
You can do a 3-sided box, but the triangle in here doesn't fit the base of a 3-sided box, so you would have to cut your own shape for that.
I'll put them to the side so you guys know what we're working towards all the time. There we go. But if you need some more space, I'll move it.
That's alright. The one we're doing first is the 4-sided box. No. So I've done a few verso edges on this one, or verso dies rather, which means I've cut into the cardstock. So you can see on the top here and on the bottom here, and I've popped a little candle inside, and that's just a normal little.
Well, that's fairly
candle.
heavy,
it is heavy.
A candle, so it does support. It'll support that kind of weight. These boxes.
Exactly. So what I've done so far, I've cut 3 of those sides. So I've cut the pattern into the base on one, and the pattern into the top on the other. So if you open the die set, have I got it all here? Oh, I'll open this one.
Yeah, go on, open that one.
Just so I can show.
This is going to be part of the giveaway on the competition this one today, so we'll get you a new. There will be a.
It won't be one I've used, I promise.
Celebrity like Alison, pre-used. She'll sign that for you as well. I'll sign the die set for you.
So we got our outer die here, which is generic for whichever lantern you're making, and you cut as many of those as you want sides to your box. Okay, so that's that one, and this is the shape you'll get. So for the top of this box, I've used the top die here, which is a lovely little swirly pattern. For this die here, I've used the bottom die on this one. So this is a little star with a candle inside, and it's also got a verso edge. So I'm going to show the 2 ways of using the verso edge.
Yeah, don't we take that?
We've also got these 2 dies down the bottom, which are little semicircles. They don't have an outside edge, so they just cut the pattern into the cardstock. So you could use this one here to cut a nice little panel in the bottom there. Or you could use the smaller one, depending on what you want to put in the box. But the little one will either fit at the bottom or it'll fit at the top. You could make this and put a little battery light candle in there, little battery tea light. And then we've got dies then for the base of a 5-sided box and also a 4-sided box. So that's explaining the dice set. So what I'm going to do now, I've cut most of my bits. I'm just going to cut one more side, and I'm going to cut the candle pattern into the side of the box. So I've got a little bit of pearlescent card here. I think this is about a 260 GSM.
When you say you have your pearlescent, what does that
pearlescent
mean?
Is the sheen on the card.
Okay.
If you look at this card, there's no sheen on it, so that would be a matte card.
That's a matte, okay. But that's, pearlescent.
And that's a pearlescent. So I'm going to just pop these up for you.
Kerry saying, please say we're back. Hello.
Hiya.
Sandy says hi.
Hi, Sandy.
I know Missy asked there, I joined what? If you could elaborate on that question, Missy, we'll do our best to answer. I know we move along fairly quick, so and the comments move, but just type it in and Dan will do his best to either type you an answer or I'll try and answer, or Alison will probably know the answer. She always usually does anyway. So.
We'll jump back on that. Okay, so I've cut my outer shape. I don't need to emboss it. But if you watched the earlier part of the show, you would see me reinforcing all the deboss lines before I go on and cut the central die. So when I'm thinking about putting this box together, I want the side flaps to fold backwards.
Just make sure we're in shot. If you just do a little bit further out, just so that they can all see.
Okay, so the flaps on the side are going backwards, as is the bottom base. The ones on the top are coming forwards, and that will give us the top like that. But I'm actually going to change this one just slightly, and I'm going to pop them inwards, and it will change the top of the box.
Andrea asks, what's the best weight of card to use to make the box? I think you said 260.
This is 260, but I would use round about a 240. But on saying that, this box here is made out of our own cardstock, which is 216. So anything between a 210 and a 260, and it doesn't make any difference. So the top of the box I've folded backwards again. So that's the shape of our box. So now I'm going to pop the die on the front, just to cut out the shape. That's a bit of sticky.
Okay.
And put a little bit of embossing on it. So it's in the centre.
There you go. Alison using the... I don't know whether you pan a little bit just to show the die, but probably not. But our tangerine machine, there we go. If you haven't seen that before, guys, that's back late July, and that's the tangerine die cut machine. A lot of you asking, I answered in the first part of the video. It's back, and a lot wondering where it is. It's been out of stock for a little while, but it's back. So we'll let all of you know as soon as that's back on our Facebook page where you can buy.
Just going to emboss this as well.
And tangerine comes with all the plates, embossing mats.
Also comes with a raspberry plate as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a it's a manual, metal gears inside. Give you a full description. There's info. Anybody who wants any more info on the tangerine, either drop us a message on the Facebook page or private message us, and I'll find an answer for you.
Okay, so I'm just going to move this back out the way now so you can see. Right. So there's our image, all embossed as well. Normally I would use wet glue on these, but I'm going to use a little bit of red line tape because it's quicker. If I can find the end. So just a tiny bit of tape on each flap. I tend to leave all the flaps in place and then they go into the box. I'll show you what I do now, but you could cut one side flap off to make it all flatter. Neither side is wrong. It's entirely up to you.
Someone's asked how much is the tangerine around that. Around £166 is the figure that you'll find. That £166, 48 around that sort of region is what you'd be looking at for that.
And it's worth every penny because it doesn't half save your arms.
So plenty of reviews out there for that. If you guys want to see or just ask us. Yeah.
Okay. One more.
Carl loves the card you're using. The card, that pearlescent card.
The pearlescent, just a purple pearlescent.
Goes well with a candle, so that candle like white inside is.
Okay, so we're just going to pop them together now. So if I can show you like that, I've got two flaps that bring them upwards and just slide them in together. If you've got a wet glue on these, you've got a little bit more time to play with it, which can be a little bit beneficial on times. So there we are. So I've got a little ridge that goes into the inside of my box. If you cut off one flap, then you get a flatter edge like that. And then I would stick that onto the next one. Okay, so we're just going to work our way round to the next one. Oh, wrong one.
There you go.
Yeah, try and be a bit symmetrical.
Oh, you could give the... Oh, you opened the pack, didn't you? I was going to... Usually I use the pack to show you. This is 625E, the Keepsake multi-sided lantern box die. So if you guys are going to make along and watch this video back, or if you've already got this and you're trying to make it live, it's a bit quick to go along if you're doing it live, but you can watch this back later. This is what we're working with today. It's probably up to around a year and a half ago that this came out, but again, every Christmas, it's useful. Once you've got it, you've got it.
I've made lanterns with these with the tea lights. I've put little presents in them, sweets, little bottles of perfume. Nice for little gifts.
For the tree or
yeah.
Yeah. I think we saw someone earlier who said that, they had, I think it was the carousel they had, and they used them for the tree. Gina's, we're making an electric machine. We don't have any plans as yet to do so. So now we've got the manual machine, the tangerine. That's Brim's jar machine, which is going to be out there for at least the near future. But you never know. There's always, if the demand's there, we'll look into it.
What I do with the last one is put the two edges together and then just squeeze them in. When you're doing it with wet glue, it is easier because you do have a little bit of playing time. So you're lining the lines up at the top and you're lining them up at the bottom. And there's your box. That's the start of your box. So now, let's put the decoration on. Right, what I've done with this...
There's a bit of red on the back.
That's just a bit of tape.
Do you want me to take that off?
Yeah. As we did last week, I've got a little bit of double-sided sticky sheet. So I'm just going to pop one side off, if I can get the end of it. Hang on, let's get the corner.
Do you want me to do some highs while you're trying to get this
You
off?
do some highs for me then.
Let me go. I think that we'll just see if... there
we go.
Yeah, thanks guys, everyone who's commented so far as well. Again, you guys drive what we do on this show, so anything you'd like to see for future weeks, just drop it in the comments, whether it be you're watching live or later on, because what we'll do is we'll be able to include it, and that's what I mean. So if some people ask for the boxes are here, so that's pretty much what we're going to do. I think week by week, it just work to what you guys want.
That's lovely. Challenge me.
Yeah. So we've got Enid. Tonic ever going to open their own shop. We don't have any plans to open it. We don't have the facility really here where we're based, but again, it's one of those things you never know sort of thing. Hope that answers your question, Enid. Let me have a look.
Okay, I've got a little bit of purple organza glitter. So because it's a double-sided sheet, it's all stuck on the back of my card. I'm going to use the backing sheet now just to press the glitter onto the adhesive. So it's obviously a dry adhesive. And just rub off the edges. We'll have these twinkling now before they go on. There we are. So I'm just going to take that away.
Oh, have I got your bin?
Yeah, I'll put it over there for now. And pop the lid on that, because otherwise I'll be the one wearing it. Because it's double-sided, just wipe my hands a sec. I've got the double-sided on the back of my card now. So I don't need to do anything other than peel that off and pop them onto the side of my boxes. So it's a bit of a double whammy. It holds my glitter in the front and sticks my card in the back. I think I could have moved that up a little bit. Bear with me.
Do you have a little bit of sticking time, I guess, to
just
peel it off if you do it?
Just slightly.
On the clock now.
I thought it was a little bit bigger than... A little bit smaller than it was.
Justine asked a question. I think it was with the Nuvo glue pen. Does she apply, I think, with the glitter to when it's clear or when it dries, or when it's blue?
When it's blue, it's a permanent glue. So you want your glitter to hold on. You want it to stay there.
Yeah.
So I would put it on when it's blue.
Okay.
If you're attaching, you could use it to attach your rubber stamps onto your stamping blocks. Put it onto your stamping block, leave it go clear, and then put your stamp on top. So there's our sides all done. So we've got the two effects there. One is cut into a piece of card and one is cut into our card stock. So that's the verso effect. So I'm just going to bend the top outwards for a sec. Turn it upside down. I don't think I bent this die. Bend all your flaps inwards so it looks like that. Then we've got our square base that I've already cut. Little bit of glue around the edges. The square is quite easy because it holds its shape into the square. Just pop it straight on top and wipe any excess glue off.
Okay, just sort of just hold it.
Just hold it.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to put anything into it, turn it upside down.
Put whatever you.
Put your candle.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do with this, put my point in. I'm just going to rub my pokey tool around the base to make sure that the flaps are stuck onto the base of the card. So we're all stuck down there. You could also put another square inside the box. There we are, you can tidy up for me, Chuck.
Useful.
You do like tidy.
I know, this is...
Your mother be proud of you.
Probably watching. Hi mum, if you are.
You've changed in well.
She has, yeah, she does tune in from week to week.
Oh, well done.
So.
Okay, so what we're going to do with this box, I'm going to bend all the tops in. And I am going to stick them inside so it gives a different effect. So even though I bent them all out earlier, I'm now going to bend them all back inwards. There we are. What I would do for a closure then for this, which I haven't brought with me, this was just a thought I had just to show you a different top.
If you move a little bit to the centre,
sorry,
just to make keep creeping back.
I do keep holding it next.
Yeah, we're going to try and in coming weeks, every week, we're going to try and make sure the cam work is on point for you guys to be able to see exactly the techniques that you want to see up close.
So I'm going to fold in all these tops so we get that sort of effect. So if they folded out, we have that effect. If they folded in, we have that effect. So what you could do with that to open it is put a little bit of Velcro.
Yeah.
Or hook and loop or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to glue these together now. A little bit excess glue. Let me move that back out the way.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'm just gluing the edge of these flaps. I may take a little bit more time. So while I'm holding that one, I'll go round to the next one. But I would leave one open so that I can get into the box. So if I can have you to hold that for me. Yeah. And that would be the one box. So we'll have that held there by Owen.
Does it count that I've made this now?
You've made it now. You've definitely made that.
For more of my tutorials,
woo!
Tune in next. Thanks for your help, Al. You've been great. For
no
more
problem.
tours from Owen.
You're more than welcome.
You're going to manage to ruin that.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, it's falling apart, Al. I can't mess it up. This should be fine.
It will be fine. So I'm going to move quickly on to the next demo, which is a 5-sided box. So again, I've done it a little bit quicker this time.
Let's show them the 5-sided box. Here we go. There we go, guys. That's what we're working towards.
So I've stuck 4 of my sides together already, and I've left one. So again, I'm folding all the edges as I did with the last one, but I'm folding these out rather than in. I've kept this box quite plain, although the colours are a little bit bright. So it's a nice sunny box. What do we think should go in there? Some sweets?
Yeah, some sort of
some smellies?
I was going to say seeds, because you've got sunflowers on the
you
side.
Could put
as
seeds.
A gift to someone who likes gardening.
Didn't think of that.
Thinking outside of the box.
Oh, look at you.
But that's just as bad as your reindeer one last week. I think that's...
that was bad. I'm so sorry.
I thought if we can have one of those every week, if you can spot that awful joke in every show.
Send in your puns.
Send in your puns.
Okay, so I've stuck the 5 together. Exactly the same as we did with the 4. And I'm doing the same with the last side. So again, line up your top and bottom. Am I pulling it away from you again? Which I probably am. So there's top and bottom together. And as I said, this is 216 cardstock, so it's not a thick cardstock, it's quite a lightweight cardstock. There we are. I'm just bending them out so I've got a good base to work on. So if you look, it goes straight into the pentagon shape. And that's the shape of my base. So again, we're doing exactly the same. We're just going to pop a little bit of glue around the edges. And again,
you didn't really use much at all.
I didn't use much. You only need it on the edges. Pop your bottom first. Then move up to the next sides. I don't know whether I can hold it for you to see. Just put the bottom first. Then move the sides in until they are even. And stick those down. And then the other two sides will automatically move into place. And there's your base. So again, I'd run my pokey tool around the inside of the box just to make sure that it's all stuck. So there's the base. Oh, a little bit there. There's the base all stuck. You could also cut another one of the pentagons to line the inside with. I think we're coming a little bit unstuck there.
There you go.
But again, I would put this somewhere where you can weight it down so you know your base is stuck.
Yeah.
So I've got some little panels this time. I thought I might have shocked you with the black earlier, so we've got some white panels now. So I've got a little bit of glue on the panels, and you've got a rectangle shape in your die set.
Kerry says great box, love the yellow. And Fiona says fab box as well.
Oh, lovely. Could put some sunflowers in there, couldn't you?
Yeah, so if you like that yellow,
then
then that's the Heated Hues essential card stock, which is available throughout the trade. So if you type it into Google followed by Tonic, you'll find it out there. And the code, we'll be able to get you the code at some point, and we'll list everything that Alison's used in the product today. Multi-sided lantern box.
Sorry, no,
That's what we have been using today. Let me just get you the code on that. 625E. That is Mr. Tonic multi-sided lantern box.
I think this is one of our most used boxes because
I think
it's so decorative when it's done.
That's just why you have got a bit of room to put
a lot
of different things in there.
You have. Nice little smellies, a nice scarf.
Yeah.
You could roll a scarf up in there.
Yeah. This is a competition to see who can think most outside the
Yeah,
box
go
now.
on then.
Or you could put a...
What could you put?
you could put a
What would you put?
comb, a small comb,
what would you
comb,
like
some
in it?
shells and sand.
Yeah.
You're not going on holidays
I
yet.
don't know.
What would you put in it as a man's box? That's what I'm thinking.
If I was doing
Footballs,
mini footballs, like we
chocolate
gave...
footballs, oh wow.
yeah, so... yeah, I would put... Yeah, those little chocolate footballs would be good.
Okay, so we've got holes already cut into the top. So I'm just threading the ribbon through. So I've got a little bit of black ribbon here. You can put thin or thick ribbon in here. It doesn't really make any difference because as you tie it, it doesn't stay in the wide thickness that you put through. So this is about 1 inch wide. Thereabouts.
Yeah, it's just about right, isn't it? With
But when I tie it, that's the same ribbon.
it's going to go as a
You
thin
find
ribbon.
that it closes up on itself.
It still stays quite thick for the bow.
You've got a nice bow with it. That's why I like a thicker ribbon. So I'm just working my way around.
What sort of length have you used? Is that have to measure it out?
Probably.
Keep going until you just keep going until if you got it on
As
the
I've got
ribbon
it on
roll,
a
you go on the
roll.
roll, just snip it off.
So I'm not wasting anything. I just pull as much through as I need. I would say to do a good bow as well.
Yeah, give yourself enough to.
I'd say you probably need a good half a metre, maybe a bit more. Okay, a little bit more than that.
Victoria says, "I can come and help tidy your desk." It depends on depends on the messiness of the desk, Victoria. This is fine for me. Like just moving the odd pokey tool here and there. But
You don't want to see the desk upstairs.
the desk upstairs, I'm not. Yeah.
You really don't,
By the
believe
hour.
me.
Yeah, by the hour.
I need my own cleaner for that one. Okay, so it's just tie a bow then in the front. So I do my bows with 2 loops, 2 bunny ears, cross them over, push underneath and tie. And then I just faff with the bow then until I'm happy that it looks right. And then trim off the edges.
So you've already put your item, would have been in before you do
Your item would have been inside this, so the goodies are already in there.
Yeah.
Whatever they may be.
Your chocolate
Whatever they may
footballs
be,
are in
The
there.
chocolate footballs are to the brim.
Yeah, and then I
That's
trim the
being
edge.
Yeah. What if you had some football paper, little football paper?
You could.
Could easily do that.
You could make this now when you do your football.
This might be
card.
my first make for Tonic Live.
So there we've got our bow as well. But on top, oh, I thought I lost my flower then. I've used our beautiful blooms just to make a little flower.
Oh, show them that up close. This looks good.
You saying the rest don't?
No, all of this, everything looks good. Oh, beautiful.
He's being
That
a
looks
bit
great.
naughty.
All of this looks great, Al, you know. Everyone says the comments alone, you know. Thanks guys for the lovely comments once again, you know. It's
So
always
I
so
cut some
kind.
leaves as well. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue. I don't want to put it on the ribbon because that means you can't open it then without ripping your flower off. So we don't want to do that.
No, it looks good.
Destruction.
That's only when I'm in a bad mood. Is that?
Just
And I rip the
it.
flowers off.
You don't need to answer.
Please don't pass the samples. So I've got 2 little leaves to pop on the bottom, and there's our box all done. So this one now that Owen's been nursing well for
What?
me.
For I didn't tell me to stop, so I don't know
I didn't.
how long.
So what I would do is pop a little bit of Velcro down each side, push them in, and they will close in there. They will, because I'll make them. Hang on.
What are you saying about my holding of a
I know.
box? Al?
That's it. That's it.
Oh, it is.
Pop your Velcro down the sides, and you've got more of a lantern design then. And there's our boxes for today.
Brilliant.
So I hope you've enjoyed. So it's same design, just different papers.
Yeah, and that's all the multi-sided lantern box. Don't know if Dan wants to pull out, if you can sort the cam, just so we can get it. There we go. There we go. That's a multi-sided lantern box. So you can see versatility there with Al. You can watch back if you just tuned in. You've missed the start. All the tutorials there. Also, we did the carousel box earlier. If Al can grab, the squeeze box that's earlier from the first tutorial. And what we're going to do is we're going to give away all the dies that we've used today. So we're going to give away the multi-sided lantern box. We're going to give away the squeeze box. We're going to give away the carousel box, and that's all going to be from someone selected in the comments from both videos. So don't worry if you've just commented on the top video or you've commented on the second video, but just say hi. That's all you have to do, or just say what you'd like to see in the next show or questions that you have for us, and we'll do our best to go through them later on. Just trying to know where you're from or the weather's like, whatever you like, but just question, just to say like on there. And we'll answer that. I know Lindsay Firth won earlier. She already got in touch with us in message. So well done, Lindsay, from everyone here. That's pretty much it for today. I don't know if you got anything you want to say.
I just noticed how twinkly your face is.
Is that be me, a glittery himself, a twinkly self next week, but probably going to be next Thursday again. What we'll do is we'll put a little event up like we did this week, where you guys can make sure that you can tune in. And I know we move around times on a Thursday, but we'll try and give you the heads up so you guys can tune in. But hope you all enjoyed. Again, so kind on the comments and the likes. See you next week. Have a crafty week from myself and Alison.
Bye.
Bye. See you soon.